Hello everyone and welcome back to Kharak Cup number 12. Going to be finishing off Groupstage B now, and I mentioned I couldn't do this a couple days ago because we were missing one of the replays. Here it is. This is the last match. And playing as the Conf here in the blue and gold, it's going to be BlueBoo. And he's going to have quite a game here because obviously he's up against one of the best, Descara. The blue on blue coalition that we know and love, or hate if you've played against him before. Definitely looking strong so far in this group, and I mean, you know, I shouldn't, how do I say, I shouldn't play this up too much, but I mean, it's pretty obvious he's been dominant so far in this group. Blue gonna have quite a time on this one. I'm not sure what he's gonna what he's planning on doing here, but we'll just have to see. Sandscape Fabrication comes out early as he puts two salvages on RUs, retires the base spinner. Looks like it's gonna be an assault ship rush, I would assume. We will just have to see though. Looking over on Descara's side, I think it's going to be 7-up, that's what he tends to do. No, it's going to be actually an AAV rush. You can see one RU salvager getting put on immediately, and then the two salvagers here that were producing the carrier, one goes to RUs, one goes to CU. So that's probably the setup for an AAV rush from him. If he does a quick drop right here, which yeah, he just did, he will have the resources for AAV fabrication at the 55-second mark, it looks like. That's pretty quick. So that's really fast, obviously. If Blue goes for like a rail rush, maybe this could actually turn out really nicely, but I think it's assault ships from him based on the RU count. I guess we'll have to see though. He is making a production cruise, I believe. Well, no, actually, I take it back. He is actually going to have... Oh, but he canceled skimmer fabrication. Okay, so this is actually going to be pretty delayed. In fact, you know, I've got a video for this. But anyway, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he did wrong with it, but I think just generally speaking, I haven't been a fan of like the salvagers immediately going to the RUs there. I think it just kind of starves you for CUs in the early game. That's probably what he's experiencing here, but he's going to have the money for railgun fabrication once this finishes, so he could potentially have railgun tech coming out pretty much at the 1 minute mark. If he wants to, anyway. That's going to be with no sand skimmers and no fleet capacity 45 yet, so that's not ideal, but it'll do if he wants it. I'll just leave his carry open here so we can see what he chooses to go for. Descara with a couple of LAVs just trying to harass here, get a little bit of information too, and he's done well with that. So he knows about the two production cruisers, he knows about that. He has not seen a tech because there isn't one, mind you. But you got to imagine he's going to be assuming it's rails. Either that or assault ships, but I mean either way. He knows probably what he needs to do here. And I assume we have railgun fabrication either already on the way or it's about to be. But we don't have it from Blue yet, that's the thing. So this is very late, whatever Blue is planning here. Man, these RU salvagers take forever to drop, don't they? There we go. So he's definitely no rush to get that tech, it looks like. But I imagine he's going to click on this now. But Refiner Mode comes out from Blue. Oh, what the heck? What the heck? That's not what I expected. And a support cruiser going to come out from Descara. So both of these players basically just trying to prove me wrong, it looks like. Thanks, by the way. No, the reason why I wouldn't have expected this from Blue is because if you're going to put two salvagers on RUs first, then going down a completely CU-based line, you just kind of got to wonder, like, why are these guys even on RUs, you know what I mean? I don't think they really needed to be. And it's obviously going to come back to hurt him as the AAVs are in the line now, in the base here, doing some damage, and railgun fabrication just now starting at like the 3.5 minute mark. That'd be pretty late. Even if you weren't, you know, going for eco like this. Or even if you were going for eco like this, sorry. But Descara, meanwhile, seeing two production cruises and assuming it could either be a rail or an assault ship rush, he does not get railgun fabrication, instead just goes for another support cruiser, so... Oh, and he's actually rotated his carrier improperly here, so he's gonna lose some mining time, but that's okay. We usually don't see Descara make that kind of mistake, but it is a pretty small one anyway, so... Seems to correctly know, go for the salvagers. I mean, that's no surprise, he's done this many times. And anyone who's had AAVs in the base knows it can be a real pain. There's no easy way to deal with these things unless you have some kind of a counter unit. Blue does not. I mean, railgun fabrication came out when he saw them in the base, so this is the kind of damage that you can expect these things to do. Heavy rails coming out from him, that's definitely the right choice here because assault railguns are going to take so much time to finish. But they do need to be microed a little carefully here. But I mean, look how many salvages have died here. This is just like catastrophic damage at this point. Oh no! He doesn't even have money to. Okay, look, buddy, you better find a way to build another salvager here. Yeah, okay, cancel the power reserve too. I mean, you don't necessarily need that. You have railguns out now. Although one of them's already damaged. Oh dear, yeah. See, I said heavy railguns were the right choice. They are if you use them right because of that faster production time. And I mean, this is like total damage control mode. But you need to, yeah, you need to be more careful when you micro those heavy rails, because basically, if they get up close, they can be killed, whereas the solar railguns really wouldn't have been in that case. So you got to get them up onto this hill where they can do high ground and keep them far away, and then if the AVs chase, you can back down the hill in that direction and stay safe. But instead, those have both gone down. Refinery mode is finished, but Blue's going to be a little unhappy to see he can't really use that, obviously. Second support cruiser on the way here, fighter and gunship, power reserve 2. I mean, everything just looks pretty much in descara's hands right here. And it's really, I think, like anyone could have pulled off what descara just did here. Is this Blue didn't react, well, he didn't see it, did he? But, I mean, you should have been able to, not sense that AV rushes were coming, but know that, you know, going for 2 salvagers on RUs like that and then not getting attacked is going to lead you into this kind of a situation. Just not safe to go for that kind of eco-aggression, you know, starting with like an RU build like that. And it was pretty late anyway, so... I've probably said enough. Don't want to embarrass Blue here or anything, but yeah, descara is definitely going to rip him to shreds at this point. Carrier production, I mean, it's just going to happen. I'm not trying to be unfair. Carrier's moving out now. Carrier production upgrade coming out as he's going to make some strike fighters here. I assume he's just going for a quick power play to finish the game off. 2 artifacts being out already is really nice for him. I'd actually make another base runner, I think. And just go for like the 4th extract to get yourself some power, because I'm not sure how much damage to the carrier the strike fighters will really contribute. Plus he does have kind of a CU float going here. Blue, fortunately, with 3 production vehicles here, ready to replenish the eco there. The thing is, like, if descara was making a... Whoa! Salsa hiccup. I've just been eating lots of salsa. Anyway, if descara was making AAVs right now, right? Rather than doing this kind of push here, they'd be getting back, like, right now, and then... Oh my gosh! Whoa! Whoa! Okay, sorry. Let me attempt to compose myself here. If descara had been making AAVs here instead of doing like a carrier power play, obviously those AAVs would be getting at the base like right now, and they'd clean it all up again, you know, and then he'd have to start over. And actually, descara, seeing both production cruisers here, is just gonna fly in with his strike fighters, kill off the eco with them, so that'll work too. Power reserve 3 on the way is another artifact is about to extract. This carrier is going to be pretty nasty at this point. Power 3 into the weapons there. Going to take some damage to the Conif carrier, but Blue charging in, you definitely want to be backing away in this case if you're Conif, but even that I don't think would make much of a difference here. As descara ready to get on top of him, and they will bond in a special way, but that's going to lead to the death of one, not the other. Really kind of awkward looking in the way that, you know, a Conif carrier gets like on top of a coalition like this, but in fact, in that scenario, it's the Conif carrier who's losing, not the coalition one, so... I've actually often wondered why it is they float so much higher than all the other carriers, because like the Galaxian one is not like that, you know. Power reserve 3 finished. 4 is ready to go if he just wants to click on that. He doesn't even need to, though. And you can see this carrier already about half health. This is a done deal. Oh, heavy railgun. That's a nice touch, actually. LEV's gonna stream in to take that one out. But gonna get some good damage on, I suppose. If I were descara, I'd just power down the armor and get the weapons up a little higher. Again, I mean, it's not really very impactful at this point, is it? Although, I gotta say, Blue is actually doing a really good job of keeping his carrier, like, able to fire the cruise missiles. It's just, you can't do a good enough job here, really. I mean, you're actually slower than them, despite them being coalition. There's just no way, really. That's interesting. If I double tap tilde to go to his carrier, it follows it with the camera, but if I double tap 1 to go to Blue's carrier, it doesn't. Conspiracy. Hold up, wait. Yeah, here it is. Sorry, I had to. Anyway, let's move on to game 2, shall we? Game 2 gonna be on the Shallows, I believe I saw. I don't know whose map picks these are, by the way. That's Shrike and Frosty. Here we go. But yeah, map's gonna be the Shallows here. This is actually a really good map for Con F, from what I've seen. They're just so slippery, you know what I mean? Like, Con F Siege Cruisers do such a good job in like the close range fight, but then they also have that ability to like take the territory in a way because of that barrage. That because of like this middle island here where you can kind of force the close range engagement, if they try to weed you out, you can do so much just annoying crap over there. It's really hard to deal with, so. Looks like descara is gonna go 7 up this game. Maybe 6, we'll see. Why is Blizzard always talking about soda? You'll find out in my next build order video once I get around to making that. Gonna be another base burner retirement here from Blue. So you get sand skimmer fabrication early this time, not gonna cancel it, I don't think. We shall just have to see, though. What's the resources like? Whoa! It's actually 6 up, okay. I don't know, I feel like in a map like the Shallows you can get away with being a bit more greedy, but then because of the two bases are like close to each other like this, there's also questions as to like, is 8 up and 7 up actually even more effective than 6 up when you're on the Shallows? I'm not even really sure, so... we'll have to see. I don't know. I could maybe test this with someone, but I'm kind of too lazy for that sort of stuff, so... Whoa! Lightning. Well, thunder actually, but there was lightning accompanying it, I'm sure. The wreck gets popped and he's straight into RU. This is BlueBoo's extra Salager over there. What's his resources looking like? Enough to get a Soul Chip Tech if he wanted to, but I assume he's gonna go refinery mode, and that's probably what I would do. It just seems wiser on this map, you know. Descara notably not retiring that base runner. Oh, and by the way, I actually wanted to point this out. Something that we've seen from BlueBoo in the past, I mean talking back like in cups like 8 through 10 maybe, I don't know, was that he just would never get refinery mode when he needed to, you know what I mean? And so even though I kind of criticized him for that last game, I am happy to see like he's getting it these days, and like he's on the Shallows, he understands this map is very hard to attack people on, he's getting refinery mode first. Good! That's exactly what you ought to be doing, so I'm happy to see that, you know. I think he's definitely improving. And I think sometimes maybe I'm a little harsh on him, but it's just because I want to see him improve. I'm like an overbearing parent, if you know what I mean. Railgun fabrication on the way for Descara now. Artifact gets picked up in the middle here, but I think... no, he's gonna back away. He could actually push in there, right? Now the base runner could put down a turret, but once he did, you can leave and say, haha, you put down a turret, and then your opponent's kind of behind there, and you can still kind of camp his extraction zone. So I think actually he should have pushed in there. But I mean, you also can't really blame anyone for being a little afraid of Descara, can you? So. Railgun fabrication's the choice for Blue this time. Makes sense. This is the Shallows after all. Kind of the map where you would expect to see railguns being a little bit more dominant. And he is actually going to replace the carrier and the production cruiser. Should have done that a little bit earlier, like have the production cruiser up here when you started. Oh, and if you put the power and mobility, you're a little faster all around as well. But that's not going to cost him too much. Probably just like 100 CUs or something. You know, relative to his opponent. Again, that's a fight I think the Sand Skimmers can take, but as more LAVs come streaming in here, that's going to change. And Armor 1 finishing now for Blue. Descara, meanwhile, filling up his third. And Blue also doing the same, it looks like. Not as fast though, he's getting some Soul Railguns as well with the production cruiser there. Checking his resources here. He's at like 100, 150. Because I think he wants to get another production cruiser up pretty fast, probably. descara is not going for a sport cruiser. He could actually. And if he's feeling really gutsy, like his opponent's not really making any units or anything like that, he could actually just do it, and that would put him pretty nicely ahead. And it does not look like Blue's going to push now. The problem is, though, he doesn't have AAV fabrication yet. In fact, he got railgun fabrication. I didn't notice that. He did, though. He doesn't have the carry production upgrade, though, either. Oh, you know, he's going for upgrades on the LAVs. He's going to do, like, strike and then rails, I guess. But, yeah. It's going to be a little tricky, I suppose, for him to just go to a sport cruiser right now if his opponent tries to push on him, because he doesn't have that carry production upgrade, stuff like that. You probably have to delay it a little bit. But as you can see, Blue not really choosing to push out there. That's allowing him to get a sport cruiser before the carrier production upgrade comes out. So I mean, he's just yeah, he's getting up onto third base without having even double production slots, which is pretty aggressive as far as Vico is concerned. He's going to tech to AV fabrication now, though. That's something that Coalition players kind of have to do, I guess. Unless you're Garmulator, in which case sport cruiser anti-air covers you nicely and you just don't even get that at all. That's not something everyone can pull off, mind you. So. Is that AV tech going to come out after the next sport cruiser? That's basically what I'm trying to say. That's kind of notable. Sometimes I worry that I'm just really rambling in my casts, but there usually is something I'm trying to get at, even if I don't actually, you know, ever say it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Carry production upgrade just now coming out here. So Blue, meanwhile, is actually making another production cruiser. Excellent, that's what I want to see. Because the thing is, he can actually match his opponent, you know what I mean? In fact, because of the way that the production upgrade is granted as well by the production cruiser, which also holds, you know, a mining base location, Galzian can often win that war if they just fight it directly. Like, rather than pressuring their opponent, just go up to Eco as well, along with your opponent, see if maybe you can beat him out on that. Ideally, the way the game should be balanced is that no one would be able to win that fight. We actually saw in Kharak Cup 1 that it was kind of skewed, I think, for the Galzian players in that in that regard. In that, you know, they were just sort of able to get up on the 3 base a little bit easier. That's actually something A-Game's addressed, mind you. One of the changes in the patch that you would play today if you pick PA game instead of P Draki is that, first off, production cruises and sport cruises actually cost RUs now too, but the sport cruise is also a little bit cheaper on CUs, only costs 540, and that tends to make a little bit of a difference in that regard. So these railguns here with actually armor 3, and these are just level 1 LAVs, so they're actually going to get chewed up here, I think. Probably wise of him to attack the Sandstormers. He's not going to kill anything else, but you can see he just got completely routed there. That's not a fight that he can take. This turret here, though, going to be really annoying. Does it have line of sight? It does. Although, I mean, you tell me how that's actually happening there. Railguns are in position, probably focus fired on those assault railguns. That is going to push this army back here, but the Blue making a valiant stand, not giving that artifact away for nothing. I like that. I guess he just goes for heavy railguns at this point. He's got all the upgrades for them, which is nice. And he's got double production off of 3 base. I mean, he can fight this, so no one's on top if they take that kind of fight. Like, it'll depend on micro. Which, I mean, I guess that could be pretty bad if you're up against descara, but you know what I'm saying. Descara, of course, not one of these players we would, like, know particularly for his micro, more just that it's really good, and his macro is really good, and so everything is just really good. You know what I mean? So, he's rounded, I guess you would say. But the point is, he's going to be very confident in a railgun fight if that comes down. The thing is, though, Blue actually is going for honor guard cruiser fabrication instead. Well, I shouldn't say instead, he's kind of doing that with it. I mean, he's making heavy railguns too, you can see that. But that's a really good choice, actually, I think, because it's not AAVs and rails like we tend to see, it's actually LAVs and rails, which means those honor guard cruisers are going to be effective against everything your opponent has across the board right now. Question is just if it's viable to go for that tech at all, and obviously that's a whole nother discussion. But in this case, I think it could work for him. I'll tell you what's not working for him, though, is this Sandstormer push out here. Trying to get some damage on that base runner, which actually does set down a turret, which I don't think descara needed to do. But yeah, a lot of Sandstormers getting killed there, and there's always a little bit of a danger here, actually, that these LAVs are just going to roll over these Sandstormers. Those assault railguns looking a little frail. The heavies are here. And the upgrades are much better for Blue here, so he can probably take this fight, just so long as he focus fires properly and doesn't let these assault railguns die. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Well, he still needs more assault railguns, mind you, but... No, actually, that didn't turn out well at all. I forgot how much upgrades these LAVs have got right here. I mean, I think if the LAVs weren't so upgraded, that maybe would have worked for Blue. He kind of came in there, he was on top of the rails for a bit, but the LAVs were screening properly, so he was going to take a lot of damage there. And descara kind of backing away here, but I mean, what you should recognize is he's actually got an opening to I don't know, man. He's got an opening into like everything here. Like he could just run by with these LAVs. And yeah, he kind of hurt passing the carrier there, but like you destroy whatever you want back there. Now this is actually really interesting. This is the kind of play that I would love to see people make more often. I don't know if it works in this case, but it's a cool idea, you know, just like going for counterplay here, see if you can kind of backstab your opponent instead of trying to fight his army directly. That's good, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Artillery coming up for descara. I don't think he's actually going to get to the point where he actually has that, because he might just win right here. I mean, you know, because either he kills the carrier right now, which would sort of take a bit of negligence on Blue's part. He does want to back away, or he's just going to push him into that corner. It'll be, you know, 3 base versus, I mean, well, maybe 2 base if he loses this one, but many base versus not many base, and then he'll just kind of siege him down with the rails. Yeah, I don't know. I think Blue's just going to throw his carrier here, maybe? I mean, he definitely needs to be backing away like yesterday. Those LAVs giving really good vision because they have insane viewing radius, right? And so, yeah, this carrier, I think, is going to die here. But I mean, like I said, if Blue does do the logical thing and back away here, he's dead anyway. It's a matter of time. Down he goes as the artifact extracts. Scoreline is 3-0, but the match scoreline is 2-0. A pretty clean one there for descara, and that's kind of what we expected again. But I think Blue actually was playing pretty well. I enjoyed that from him. Let's just go ahead and check the things here, though. On Battlefy, the standings for Group B, which is now finished. It's finished because... Oh, it's not finished. I remember this now. Right, so Roby and BlueBoo were not able to play a match, right? And so, curiously, what that means is that descara wins 3-0. Like, he has 3 wins, no losses. He's golden, right? Roby, BlueBoo, and Kalaschmel all have 2 1-1s and 1 loss each. So, curiously, they are all tied, and now they have to play tiebreaker matches. We're going to jump right into that. It'll be a separate video, of course, but hope you have been enjoying the group stage so far, and I'll catch you then.